give to us. Let me tell you just 2 minutes about why this series of webinars, right? This series of webinars are brought to us by the power of action. Sorry, you should be able to see my screen here. So the power of action is a program which has this motto of your extraordinary life starts here. This idea that you can have an extraordinary life right here, right now. And it's based on a book, a bestseller book that was, one of the most sold books in Brazil since 2017. And this book was written and this program was designed, that I'm a facilitator, because we believe that there is an abundant and extraordinary life here, not there, right here, right next to us. And there is literally a door, a passage to go there with a specific key that will take you there. This is what we believe. And we believe that we find this key, we open this door, and it's very easy in a way. It's very close to us. It's something accessible to all of you. This is a belief of the author Paulo Vieira and all of us that are certified delivering that. And the metaphor really of this program, Power of Action, is crossing a river. We believe that this book is kind of the key that can help you to open the door. But really the reason for that is to move from scarcity to abundance. So many people today, they live in scarcity. They are just there. They are just frustrated with this crisis. They are dissatisfied with their government, with their partner, with their family, with their children, with their parents, with their friends, with their teachers, with their students. They are sad, They are a lot of solitude. Of course, this confinement, this isolation, I'm not saying it's easy, but I believe we can cross this river, especially if we accompany each other to do it together. And we can live in real joy. It's not the happiness of the pleasures that when you achieve something or when you buy something. It's this deep joy that you feel when, this morning I wake up, my 2 children come to my bed with me and my wife, and I look at them and they smile, and I just feel a deep joy that is constant. It's not because it's Saturday today. It's not because my daughter hugged me longer today. It's just a joy of what I design and build with my life. And of course, there is achievements behind that. And there is also faith and hope, looking at the future. But especially, I think one of the key things is love. It's really about having love for yourself and love for others. And your attitude there will define everything. So this is really the summary of why this program exists. And I invite the ones of you that haven't yet, Sai and Alexi and Alfonso and Daniel and Makia and Nathan and Ivan, to also get to know this program. If you have an interest, we have already 12 people joining on Monday, the next batch, starting team 2. There is 2 spots left. So if some of you are interested, let me know. And tomorrow is really the last chance to join this program. So maybe just before I hand over to Didier, can I ask maybe Gita, you just completed the program. Can you say a few words about what was the impact in you of this program?
Well, actually, for me, this program was really beneficial because it teach me that I have to focus on my biggest goal. Of course, we have to have a vision, a big goal that we want to achieve, but at the same time taking care of all the pillars of our life. I've understood that everything in our life is connected, and it's not by focusing on just one pillar of your life, for example, professional one, and letting all the others down. That doesn't benefit you. You have to take care of all of it because they are all connected, and that's what's gonna be bring you to your vision. And also with the power of action, I learned that what matters is action. Yes, you have this vision, you have this goal, you dream about it every day, but it's only by asking yourself the real questions and stop telling yourself, having excuses and telling yourself tales that you will achieving. It's by taking the right action and be willing to take risks and to achieve this big goal. And really, that's what really opened my eyes, because I was kind of person that really is motivated and wants to achieve things, but scared about my value, or constantly questioning myself is can I do it or not? But I know I can do it, and I can't stop finding myself excuses. about my environment or something like that. But I understood that only me can be the judge of my life, and can actually, like, only my confidence gonna make it through this world. And it's by building my confidence and investing time in myself that I will achieve those goals. And that's actually a really big lesson. And I really want to take this opportunity to thank Alex so much for giving me this opportunity. And yeah, and also just one quote he really told me at the end of the sessions, but really, like, I know this quote will always be in my mind. He told me that in order to be a millionaire, you have to start acting like a millionaire. And that's really something that blew my mind, because I've always thought to myself, I want to be this person in the future, but I don't know, like, when I will see this change. When is this moment that I will see I'm changing to become this person. And I understood that I don't have to wait for this moment. I can make it happen today by starting to be the person I want to be.
Thank you so much, Gita. Very kind words. Let's just have one more before we start. Let's have Julie quickly. Julie, what happened in you during these 9 weeks? What change did you see in yourself?
So Gita said everything. She was my angel, so she was very kind to me, and we were pushing each other. So what Power of Action did to me is that yes, like Gita, I have a vision, and I make every effort every day to reach this goal. And also it learned to me that we have some beliefs that are not maybe true, and we can change it, like right now. You just have to make the other path, and do it consistently. So every day you make this path, every day it's getting bigger. So I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop. I continue my meditation, my affirmation, and every day I do it. Every day it's become bigger, 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 and bigger. And it impacts not me, but everyone around me, like my manager, my family, my sister. And I want to be a good person for my sister, for my family, and everyone around me. So thank you, Alice, because you didn't have an impact on me, but on every aspect of my life and people around me.
Thank you so much, Julie and Gita, for sharing, and congratulations, because really I was just creating the space and you girls really did this amazing transformation. At the end of this webinar, I will give 3 books to people that answer the question about Didier's content best. So we'll have a chance for maybe some more sharing from Laure, Wissal, Chanel, we'll see. So let's get started with Didier. And we already have questions, good questions, Sai. I will make sure that we answer it soon. So Sai was asking, why is that we doubt so often, the doubt and certainty. We will cover that today, I promise. So I met Didier in 2009. Didier was in my board of advisor when I was president of ISEC in France. And he was, a teacher in the field that I was studying as well at the time. And I really saw something different in him. I saw, compared to the other corporate guys I had in the board, like the Google HR director, other people, I could really see a passion. He was talking about this entrepreneurship, this project, and the way he was helping people to become entrepreneurs or investing in companies. Or like he was having a vision of the future that attracted me quite a bit. And his being, his person, his humility, his generosity, and how smart he was, of course, as well. His CV is quite incredible. I guess you all seen it already. And 10 years later, I have been in touch with him now. I came back to France, and he was really one of the key person from all my, I have 12 different mentors, but he was one of the key ones that really gave me the self-confidence to be 100% an entrepreneur, and kind of to really get this mindset and this identity that there is no way back, like there is no way, like really make this decision on the stone and kind of get to new levels. I was already being an entrepreneur for a while, but it really helped me to raise my ambition as an entrepreneur, to understand how to become more of an entrepreneur every time. So it's a bit of a journey, and he will tell you about the different steps and everything. So Didier, thank you so much for making the time on your Saturday afternoon to be here, and welcome. And please, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, thank you very much. So I'm not sure I will have all the answers to your questions, but I can talk a bit about my life and what I made when I made good decision and when I made mistakes. First, the three things I love in life is I love people. I love to interact with people. That's very, very important, and I will come back to that. The second is I love problems. Fortunately, I'm really lucky because there are problems everywhere. If some one of you don't see problems, let's share your experience. But I see problem everywhere, and when there is no problem, I feel very sad. The second is about crisis. I also love crisis. I love crisis because it's the period where you change, where the world is changing. And I've been through three crises in my life. The first was in 2000 when there was the bubble burst of the first internet startups, and I was at that time the founder of an internet startup, and I saw how the change at the same time how some company just went bankrupt. At the same time, just the real new wave of startup and the real new wave on the internet. And it was the same in 2009. In 2009, I was at that time so already an investor in startups. And what I saw is that a completely change, especially in big corporation, they didn't see the crisis. And at that time, what was strange is that it was the beginning of many of the big unicorns that we see right now. And of course, as we know, there is the crisis we are living today. And I think that this crisis is magic. Magic because there is one of the magic ones is the one that we are using here is Zoom. Zoom is one of the superpower because since the crisis and before the crisis, I already was using Zoom, but it makes things incredible. Just the fact that we are all here together on the Saturday afternoon is absolutely incredible. It was not possible 2 years ago, and I see more and more of that is people collecting, sharing, and the technology is just here to make things happen. So getting back to a bit of my life, I made a lot of mistakes. And probably the first part of my life was a big mess because so as Alex has been saying, I went to big universities, to big school. In France, I came out of École Polytechnique. I went to Columbia University in '99, and it was a big shock because I thought that being a good student, supposedly to being smart, and work was the way to be successful. And my first shock was going especially to Columbia, is that the first lesson I learned going to Columbia University, so in New York, was that you have to give something. And it was incredible because it was, let's say, the mecca of the financial world, how to become a billionaire, how to make money. And the first lesson is you have to give something first. And of course, it makes sense because it's how you relate to people. And if you have to have some rewards, or if you want to take money out of something, you have to give something first. It's the basis of a relationship. And what they're saying is the financial world first is kind of creating this relationship with people. sometimes you even don't need to give money to receive money, because when you send love, when you help people, you will get some reward in some other ways. The second thing that I learned out of this Columbia University is that whatever you learn at university, it's the world is changing, and it's not about being smart. It's exactly what Alex said, is about acting. And what was impressive is that in my class of EMBA, all my classmates were coming from big corporations. So Lehman Brothers, all the big banks, and they were in executive position, making big salaries. But at the end of the MBA program, what was very, very strange is that almost all my my buddies had just stopped their work and started a new company, because it was just when you see that the world is full of opportunities, when you feel that you have, let's say, the skills, and you see that everybody is just interested in what it's going to go next, yet then you want to be part of this change in the world. So first, I was very surprised, because I'm French, and in France you don't just resign from a good position to start from zero. And that's what I saw. And at the end, that's also what I did. I had a very, very good position there in New York, and I resigned. I started my first company, and believe me or not, my first company was a big mess. I raised some money, but after some years, it went bankrupt. But what I learned through this process was just incredible. The first thing I learned is that I was not making that for money or for success. It's just that the feeling of creating something and of trying something and learning from this experience was just completely different than being on any job position where you just follow the process, you follow the orders, but you don't really live your work. When you are creating a startup, you have to do everything, and there are always problems. But almost every day you learn something, and sometimes it doesn't work, and that's exactly what happened with my first company. So what happened next is that I said, okay, if I'm not able to succeed with my first company, maybe I'm not that just perfect guy who will succeed each time he will try something. But what I had is that I had a relation with many of my friends who were entrepreneurs. So I said, if I'm not the best entrepreneur, I'm going to help others. And that's how I became investor in other startups, because I thought maybe the others are much better than me. And so being just smart is helping other and giving them some money. And that was one of the first thing, is that if you not be able to do that yourself, just look and listen to others, and you will learn. And so what I learned is that first, you can make money out of investing in others, but much more than that, you will learn from the mistakes of others, and you will learn from the success of others. As Alex said, I've invested my money in more than 50 different companies, and it's not about money again. It's each company has been a complete mess, and nothing went as it was supposed to. And the thing is that in all the 50 companies, so many were successful, but each time they had a big problem, they were calling me. So I was the one that never succeeded as an entrepreneur, and these just successful entrepreneurs, when they had a problem, they were calling me. And I was able to just discussing with them, finding usually some solution, of course, not 100%. And I saw that being an entrepreneur, you have to have some people you can trust, and you have to share this problem. And it's about sharing this problem and learning from this problem that you will be able to succeed by yourself, or for these people you have invested in. And so that was very strange, because even if I've created many companies today, the thing is that being part of this network of people is probably much more important than saying, okay, my company is doing very well, I'm successful, I'm the one that will do everything. The thing is that in order to do that, you have to make other people successful. You have to be part of this network, and also you cannot succeed by yourself. And I had also several experiences having some partners in different companies. And what I saw is that at the beginning, I was willing to do everything by myself, because yes, I understand IT, I understand finance, and I thought that it was a wrong way. What is good is finding some people that first trust you and that you trust, and sharing, of course, the passion, but building together. And by building together, first you make people in much more with much more energy, with much more confidence, and that's how you create success. And finding the right partners is probably one of the biggest challenge around you. And that's why one of the things that people are saying, I need an idea, I need money to create a startup, and that's wrong. The first thing that you have to look for is finding partners, finding people that will go along with you in this new venture. And usually, maybe the best partner is coming from the other part of the world. Maybe using a headhunter, you will find the best profile. And the answer, of course, is no. Usually, the best partner is just someone you know already. And because you have created some link with these people, they are your friends, they are coming from your family, and it's the people you like and that like you. And it's very strange, for example, that many of the startups that I've invested in and that were very successful are people coming or were friends at the beginning, or coming from the same family, sometimes some couples, because just the bond between people is something that is very, very important to be successful, much more than any other. Because if you want to create a company, people are saying, okay, let's find an idea. No, it's not about an idea. An idea, it just isn't worth nothing. Of course, you have to have a starting point, and one of the starting point is usually finding a problem. But and as I said, there are so many problems that you can start from anywhere. But finding the right business model is usually finding the right partners and finding the right needs. And it takes some time. It takes while solving many problems before you find. In all of the 50 companies, and the business that they have today is always different from where they started. So there is no point of having a good idea and saying, okay, in 10 years, that's where I'm going to be. It never happens. Life and the world is uncertain, and you have to handle this uncertainty. And what is very, very interesting is that it's where the world is the most uncertain that the entrepreneurs are the most successful, because that's where, in fact, you take into account the fact that if humans are still surviving, it's because we can adapt to many different situations. That's where we are the most skilled, and that's exactly what entrepreneurs are doing. By the way, because I've been a professor of entrepreneurship, you just have to remind that first, entrepreneur is a French word. It's coming from the Middle Age of people that were building the cathedrals. And just as a feedback, the cathedrals were the center of the new towns. Well, you know, Paris Notre Dame, of course. And Paris was at the beginning when they started to build this cathedral. First, it took more than 100 years, which means that the people that started the construction didn't see the end of the construction. But moreover, entrepreneurs means entrepreneur means to take, and of course it's to take or to build the future. But entre means together, and it's about taking the opportunity of building the future together. And so if you look at just the real meaning of entrepreneurs is about sharing and building the future together. You have to be with other people and share your vision with other people. And that's why everything regarding this entrepreneurship is finding the right people and building together. Getting back to what I see today is that, and that was related exactly to what Alex has presented. What I see today is I see two words around me. One is people that are tired, or people that are always sleeping because they don't see the future. They are just in their couch looking at some videos and waiting for the world to start again. And on the other side, what I see is other people that are saying, okay, it's the best period of my life because first there is this Zoom. I can contact any people. I have some time to think. And everything is possible, and the best is that yes, not only everything is possible, but it's better to start right now than probably in a few months where everybody will be excited, but you know that after a big crisis, the period just after the crisis, it's just unbelievable. What we will live after the crisis will be one of the best growth situation and biggest opportunity that we will live in our life. But you have to be prepared for that. And the second point is that yes, I don't remember.
So let me wrap up here, Didier,
Sure.
to help everyone grasp what you've talked so far. And I'm sure there is already many questions coming up. And so you talked first about loving problems and crises, and this is something the people that are in the Power Faction here, they know the attitude and the mindset towards challenges and looking at the glass more full than empty. Because when you have a problem, it's an opportunity to add value, to serve. You just need the abundance mindset so you can give first, as you said. Even if you don't have money, you can give love, you can give time, attention. We practice that for 9 weeks with many people, and I love the bank account metaphor. That's what I used to say. You deposit. I'm with my wife for 7 years, and I give surprises, and I give time, and I give love. I'm constantly depositing. So if one day I say, look, honey, I need to really focus on this business for a week, can you handle the children? my account is positive. I can withdraw some cash, you know, same with my children, same with my parents, my sister, and of course, finances as well. Am I putting money aside as well? And so this is a metaphor that I like about giving first that I use. You also said you cannot succeed by yourself, you know, it's not about the ideas, it's about the people that come together, and this bond creates some energies that can make these cathedrals and these things being built. You mentioned also about human survival and you know, adapting, and as a species, and entrepreneurs actually are the ones making a big part of it as well. So it's wow, it's lofty goal. You talk about the definition of being together and building, and you talk about what's coming next. You know, I got goosebumps when you say like the biggest growth opportunity of our lifetime is now. But if you haven't got prepared, if you are just waiting for things to start, then this growth won't happen. Like you won't be able to leverage that. That's the main thing that I got so far. I will let you finish.
Yes, so the second idea is that, yes, getting back to what happened is interesting because so my last company is working for the pharma company or the pharmaceutical industry. And once again, I created this company, not because I had just the vision that the crisis was coming. It's just that I found a partner that was coming from the pharmaceutical industry, and was just by chance or by serendipity at the right place at the right moment. But what is interesting is that what we are living today, and especially in terms of technology, because as you know, we are going through a big crisis. But the two vaccines that are already, well, are the best on the market are both coming from two startups, because the BioNTech Pfizer vaccine is in fact a German startup, and the Moderna is also an American startups, and the two vaccines are not coming from the big industry; they are coming from the startup. And if you look back 1 year ago, people were saying 1 year ago that the startup world was just overvalued, that all the startup would crash, that it would be the end of the startup world. And what happened, as we saw, is that it was exactly the contrary. In fact, big companies that used to be were running. In fact, big companies, some of them went bankrupt because they were just too old and not able to adapt. And today, what we see is that the startup world has never been as quick and developed as ever. And what does it say is that yes, we are probably living the biggest transformation of our economy right now. And even today, this the lockdown makes us change the way we live every day, and it's probably one of the biggest change of our experience, of our behavior, and it makes just new opportunity and new market for a new wave of companies. So just looking at how things have changed in your everyday life, and for you and for the people around you, let's consider that the life that you have today is completely different, and it means that everything has to add up, and it means that this new behavior and this new opportunity are just opportunities for people and entrepreneurs.
Can we have a big applause for this first introduction of Didier already? Can we have some energy here? So I will let you guys go first. I will then ask my questions and conduce a bit of an interview of him. But you guys, I'm here for you guys. This is for you guys, really. So you have access to Didier for a few more minutes. So raise your hand, write in the chat, whatever way you want to make a comment, ask a question. You're welcome right now. Who wants to go first?
Just simple questions.
I actually would like to go first. So as I presented myself, I'm still like a student and really at the beginning of my studies. I'm in second year, and like as a student that doesn't know much about like our economical world, our way to invest, the process of investments, etc., and really is curious about it and want to learn about it, because like I still don't think I'm confident yet in terms of knowledge to do this step, but still want to learn about it and experiment it. So like what advice could you have for me in terms of acquiring knowledge?
Okay, sure. So if you have a lot of money, and the best way is that you give me the money, and I will take care of that. That's the first rule. You have to find the right people that you trust, and that more. Let's say more. Just to try to answer that. So I've been investing in 50 different companies, and I've been also, let's say, business angel inside an association that I created. I created several funds also, and my experience is always the same. It's the best experience is where I knew people before they created their company, and because I knew them not at, let's say, entrepreneurs with the project, but I knew their personality. I knew how they behave, and knowing people in well, the real people was very important, and because when you invest in a project but you don't know the people, the first problem with when you see startup companies and is that people, when they have a big problem, they just stop the company, and of course you have lost your money. And so you need to have people that are really resilient, and that are really passionate, and that can go through many problems, because entrepreneurship is always many problems to solve. One of the thing, because you are a student, I have created a company with 3 of my students, but that's also one of the of my good stories, because I was in contact with a Canadian billionaire, and who has created more than 100 companies, and his model is that so he's living in Ottawa in Canada, and he created his own incubator in his home, and he selects in fact students coming from the best universities in North America, and apart from that, yes, he has a company, an IT company, and he tries to create teams that will try to solve a problem that his own IT company has. So it means that with his IT company, he doesn't have any R&D. The R&D is done by these teams of young entrepreneurs, and of course he coaches them, and that's how he was very successfully creating companies. And we met, and he said, okay, Didier, if you find me 3 good French yes students, I'm willing to finance this company. So I found, in fact, 3 of my very active and entrepreneur skilled students. And this guy came in Paris, and he stayed with these 3 students all the afternoon. And all the afternoon is from 2 to 6. And during 4 hours, he asked them of who they were, who they where they were coming, what was how they were raised by their family, what was their culture. It was not about how much money you want to make or anything. It was really about who you are and what you want to achieve in life. And after having spent these 4 hours with the 3 students, he said, okay, let's go. So the 3 students moved to his home in Ottawa. They created a company, and they were very successful, meaning that they created a company. They were funded by this guy, and after 3 years, they reached 1 million euros of revenues. Then they merged with another company, and this company has done an IPO on the stock exchange. And my 3 students became millionaire at less than 30 years. What I learned from that is that the best age to create a company is when you're young. Well, at least there is a limit, but it's good to have some senior people that will guide you, because this guy, we had a meeting with our entrepreneurs every quarter, and this guy was just incredible, because he had a vision about what was going on everywhere in the world. He could give very good advice, and everything was about sharing his life and sharing the success with these 3 young guys. So, and of course, there is question about money, about energy. But once you find some people that went through this experience and then can share that with you, of course, there is no limit for a young person to start. And in terms of finance, it's the same. First, if you want to create a company and you're looking for money, money is everywhere, but money will come not because of your project. Money will come because of you. And the second thing is that now, if you want to invest in other people, it's the same. You have to invest in people you trust. That's why we said that at the beginning, the best is getting money from your family. And usually, the money coming from the family is very important. Not because it's huge amounts of money. Sometimes it's only a few hundreds of euros. It's just that if your own family believes in you, if they trust you and they will give you some money, it will make a big change. Because the way you see yourself will be very, very different. And of course, with the money coming from your family, you know that you cannot say, I have a problem, I have stopped the company. It means that with the money of the people you trust, you will be sure that even if you meet with many problems, you will find a solution. And that's how the money coming from people you trust will make you succeed. So it's a tool, in fact, to be successful.
Wow, this is a proper answering question, Didier. I like it. We have 7 questions, so let's have in the order they were asked. So the first one was by Sai, and she asked, why do we doubt so often? Then I will give to Chanel, Alfonso, Julie, and then we have Laure, Anya, and Najiba. So why do we doubt so often, Didier?
Okay. Well, I think it's very good to doubt because nobody can be certain about anything. There is a difference between doubting and acting. The thing is that for me, as an entrepreneur, you have to make decision, but you don't care if it's the good or bad decision. It's very important to make decision. So the thing is that if doubting is I want to spend more time making decision, yes, that's wrong. But doubting when you make a decision, is it the good or bad decision? Of course, yes. Of course, maybe half of your decision will be bad, but you don't care. You're trying first to make the first decision, and it's always about experimenting. And the way you experiment is about acting and deciding. And once again, making bad decision is not a problem. Doubting is good because it means that you're never completely sure and you're looking at other alternatives. And of course, in order to be successful, you have always being able to change the way, to pivot, and so doubt is of course very, very important. If one day you don't doubt, then you have a big problem, because it means that you won't see the next wall coming in front of you.
Chanel, over to you.
Yeah, so that was perfect. Because my question's about how do you know to go forward with the project, and when do you know when to pivot from a certain plan or destination?
Okay, so well, pivoting is very difficult, because that means that usually you have to change everything. Sometimes you have to fire some people, and so let's say when you have some doubts, or when you say should we pivot or not, it means you have to pivot, because in fact, even especially when it's your own team, when it's your own company, you know that taking the decision will hurt some people, and that's why you usually don't want to make the decision instantly. But when you think that you should do that, you have to do that. Every time you doubt about somebody, or when you doubt about making decision, it means it's the right time to make the decision. But usually, of course, it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult to pivot, and that's why also you don't be alone. Never be alone, because it's very, very difficult when you are alone in your company, and you have to make all these difficult decision, and sometimes you will make once again some bad decisions. It's very, very difficult to live if you cannot share with other people.
Alfonso.
Thanks, Alex. So my question is on the give something first, helping others, which means usually giving time or money, in the startup world. Specifically, my question is, if I personally, I would like to offer for either help, like sharing my knowledge, experience, or giving money, start investing in startups. What's the best way to approach young entrepreneurs or startups? What's the best way to offer, be available and say, okay, look, I would like to help, how can I help? Based on your experience, what's the best way to do that?
Well, let's say, everywhere in the world, there are events. There are startup weekends, there are hackathons, there are everywhere where you can find people. And so I think that if you are looking not to invest right now, but finding the right people, you just have to go around and with this guy. And even that's also one of the things that's strange, is that in this lockdown period, there has never been so much hackathon. It has been much more easy to be part of a hackathon right now than 1 year ago. And that tells us that the world is changing. And because today, because of the once again about the Zoom magic wand, you can share all your time being part of any hackathon and interacting with people, and finding the people you trust, and of course the idea or the subject you share. So I think it's not a problem about finding people or finding and then make just once again, it's about intuition, because that's also very important. Usually investors are saying there are 3 rules or to when you want to invest, or 3 key topics, and the 3 are team. And I'm not the one that did that, just that it's everybody, all the time about the teams. And usually for venture capital or any investor, you have the traditional pitch that can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And why is the pitch usually very short? And usually it starts at 5 minutes. It's because, in fact, you make the decision in the few minutes. And after that, you just want to make sure that your decision is the right decision. But in fact, it's just about intuition. It's not about having the right business plan or anything. It's about people. So just go around using Zoom, let's say, just be part of all these events. And once again, there are events everywhere, and there are much more events right now than before. And just try to interact with people, but not in the way I'm looking to make money or I want to select the right guy. Just if you want to, like, you go to a party and you and go with the people, you feel that there is the best interactions. Because entrepreneurship for me is also pleasure and is social bonding, and once again is the people you would like to be with if you had an accident or if you would be stuck during some time. So it's just like the lockdown. Once again, you have to make sure that you are with the right people, and entrepreneurs are probably the people you have to be the closest. That's the same as an investor. We usually say that the link between an entrepreneur and an investor is just like a marriage contract. It means that it's something very, very strong. Of course, you don't have to live with the entrepreneur, you don't have to sleep with them, but still, it's a very, very important and link.
Julie, you're next.
Yes, thank you, Alex. Thank you, Didier. So I have many questions, and you answered some before. So my first question was, what do you think is missing for students to build the future and become successful founders? And my next question was, what is a great team for you? What does make a great team for you? Because team is everything, right?
Okay, so the first question is, what are my expectations about people?
What is missing for students to become successful founders?
Well, I think that nothing is missing. So I know. For me, I mean, there is no question about age or education, or it's more about personality and than anything. And so if you want to start at 16 years old or before, I mean, and if you don't go to high school, it's for me, it's not a problem. So of course, but you have to find people that with the skills, so that the teams will be good. So and just also to give an example, I've worked with a Portuguese startup company and with Portuguese entrepreneurs, and when I was working for the European Commission, and it was two guys, and they were 24, I think, and they had the company that they were working in was the third company they had created. And the first company was created when one of the guy was only 17. And because he couldn't create a company, in fact, the company was created under the name of his mother. So, well, they made a lot of money out of this first company. They sold the first company, they created a second company, and they sold the second company, and then they created a third company, and it was about how to make the Portuguese autobuses work. And it was artificial intelligence, because in their hometown there was many problem with the autobuses. And of course, I mean, you have 23 or 24 years old, you see that the autobus are going down, and you're just dedicate your life about finding a solution to make your local bus work. And these guys, they were completely incredible, because first they were not doing that for money, and they were saying, okay, if tomorrow we don't have enough money and we have to sleep under the bridge, we will do that, because what we want to do in life is finding real problems and finding real solutions. And it was just amazing. And they were just enjoying their entrepreneurial life. And if they needed some skills, they would, of course, finding the right people and hire the right people. And now, just to the second question, what is a good team? Is usually very diverse people. Diversity is very, very important. We know that, for example, of course, mixing man with woman, with people coming from in a multicultural environment is very, very important. We know that today in the Silicon Valley, many startups are founded by people coming outside from the US, and almost every company is a mix of people with very, very different backgrounds and very, very different educations. And so the point is, yes, your teams has to be strong and strong in terms of personality and being very diverse, because that's how you can handle a very, very complex and broad situation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. Laure, you're next.
Yes, nice. Thank you so much, Didier. All of this is like super interesting. I really, really enjoyed what you shared. So I agree with you. I really love people, you know, and I've been in business partners with different business partners over the years now. But now I'm alone for over a year, and it really taught me to see different aspects of the business, which has been great. But now I'm ready to collaborate again with others, you know, but in more partnership ways. Do you think that this can work, or that entrepreneurship has to be funding team with different persons?
So I'm not sure I understand your point, because when you say partnering is for me, it's the same.
I mean, I guess not necessarily owning the company together, but maybe doing projects, you know, with other companies as a way of partnering with others.
Okay. Well, yes, for me, it's not about, at the end of the day, it's not about who owns the company, or because when I invest in the company, it's not a company, but also part of venture and everything. The thing is that what you said is that you were lonely sometime, but you're here with us. And the point is that, of course, interacting with as many people as possible. And that's why when Alex asked me if I would be available, and I'm running my own company during the week, but for me, interacting with new people is always very important. And I'm not expecting anything from you, but I'm probably sure that doing this session with you today can lead to something that can be very, very important. Because my experience in life is that I've been teaching, I've been doing many kind of sessions, is that what I hope is that there will be something big coming out of this, let's say, small interaction. And to your point, of course, is just meeting with people, finding the right partners, and finding the right partners is the beginning of creating a company.
Thank you so much. I'll keep in touch and try to connect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Laure. Najiba, you're next.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Didier, for your very interesting insights. My questions are a bit more operational. You actually already answered a bit to some of them, but the first is about the financial and capital. When you don't have so much capital and you don't want to go through bank loan, what will be your suggestion for to finance the startup?
Okay, sure. So I saw your question in the chat.
Yes.
And so let's try to answer directly your question. What is the minimum capital? You know the answer. It's €1. Let's say, of course, €1 is not a lot of capital, but I see many companies started with €100 because €100 is usually how you make sure that you can create a bank account. And so let's say at the end of the day, probably €100 is the right answer. Of course, if you can do more, it can be better because it's the starting point. And but let's say €100 is probably the minimum and a good amount. The second thing is that you don't need to go to banks if you create a company. Well, of course, it depends. My environment is usually, let's say, digital startups, and usually banks don't like digital startups. So you can try to meet with them, but they will say, okay, just come back when you have some customers, revenues, and 3 years of financials. The thing is that today there are many sources of finance, and the first one, especially in France, but it's the same in many countries, is public money. And probably you know, and that's also what is very important right now in this crisis period, is that the European Central Bank has created billions of euros for entrepreneurs. Because the European Central Bank is saying, okay, we have been, we are going through a crisis, but after the crisis, there will be many companies that will thrive. And of course, we are creating some euros to invest or to finance these new companies, because that's the future of Europe. So. For example, in France, the first thing is that the first loan or the first subsidy that you get is the BPI French Tech, and the amount that you can get is between 15,000 to 20,000 euros. So, and there are money, well, there is money everywhere.
Okay, great. And yes, I actually will be join a webinar of BPI actually in a few weeks.
Thank you, Najiba. Sai, you're next. We have 2 final questions, and then I will go to the closing and the quiz. Sai,
okay.
go.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I love how you see that there is actually a lot of opportunities, and we should not think in limitation. And like Najba, my question was really like about capital. I'm so bound to my work. I'm in the professional. I'm an HR, and you receive a salary, and you just go through the days. I mean, yeah. But at the same time, I have so much wish to create businesses, so really in plural, and help my, actually in my families, I know that, for example, a cousin would like to open a salon, a beauty salon, or that my father would like to ask me if I can help him to build a company in the how do you call it, paysagerie, how could you call it, yeah, for plants, growing. I have also another aunt who asked me if I can collaborate with her to open a restaurant, or at least start a small takeaway. But it means all of this is from others. It means that I will be investing them also. But So my question is, how to start, where to start when you have so many possibilities, and also, of course, it's a step-by-step, right? I also see that I also would like to open something linked to health, and how to do it, all of this next to your work, your 8 to 5. Here in Switzerland, we work until, we work 8 hours per day. So that's my questions. Thank you.
Okay, first, it seems that everybody around you sees you as an entrepreneur because they want your help. So I think for me, it answers the question about should you quit your job and go through entrepreneurship, because obviously you have an entrepreneur profile and entrepreneur personality, and you have many opportunities. Then, of course, the second thing for me is it's not about owning a company. Of course, it's good to own your company, but I heard is that people around you are offering you opportunities, and they trust you to take care of this of their own company, which for me is really, really great, because people trust you and you have things that you can take. And of course, the question is that which opportunity you want to seize, and probably it's about with who you want to work more than probably the business itself. And is it better to create your own company today, if it's your first company? For me, probably it's better to start with one of this opportunity, learn, and then and start your own company. And of course, if you want to start your company right away, that's also very good. But the entrepreneur life is quite long, and I've created several companies, and I don't know when I'm going to create a new company. So don't say, okay, I'm going to start this company, and I have to. It's just a single choice, and if I do that, I won't be able to create my own company in the health industry, because probably maybe it's because you will create a restaurant that you will make some money in the restaurant in 2 years, and you will have enough money to create another company afterwards. So it's about, of course, choosing at the time. But getting back to your question, first you should resign from your job, and probably decide on the best opportunity you think is good for you, and especially for the people around you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Well, acting right now.
That is
And the last question, but not least, I'm quite interested in the answer, is quite specific, from Anna. She said, how do you see the area of employee motivation / team building, considering the drastic change in ways of working, like the home office? Do you believe online team building events has a future? Or how else can we cover this need?
Okay, so yes, I think, because I also work with many big companies, and when I see is big company, especially with work at home, is that people are very they have many problems. When you're doing a teleconference, you don't see people there. They are very tired, very they have no enthusiasm. So of course, and one of the company next to ours is exactly doing that, and they are doing very well. So of course there is a big market about how to make sure that people are willing to work, and giving them some energy. And yes, I think that today all big companies have a major problem, and they need help. That's for sure.
Wow, I know there was a bit more questions, but for sure, guys, I can always direct them to Didier and make sure I answer your questions after, because we have to close in 9 minutes. And I still have the quiz to make you win 3 books. But before that, I just wanted to, some people didn't got the beginning, to ask 2 more testimonials from the Power of Action. So can I ask, so who spoke was Gita and Julie, so maybe Chanel and Laure, and Wissal. Let's have the 3 of you just sharing quickly, you know, the program Power of Action. I see the relevance with what Didier is saying, because Didier talked about team. Didier talked about not being alone. What do you need for that? Emotional intelligence. You need the ability to be able to, you know, solve problems, not get frustrated, bring people with you, keep the bond with the investor, with the people, with the resilience, have your family trust you and everything. So it's a lot about what we do in Power of Action. So let's start with you, Laure. Can you tell us, Laure, how it was for you this experience and what you got out of it as an entrepreneur and business owner?
Yes, I never really know how to say this, but I feel very good. I feel like business is getting much more clearer. Like with the pandemic, you know, I needed to experiment a lot. I hired someone new, and I'm starting to find balance. And I think Power of Action really helped me doing that with integrity. Yeah, I think that's what I can say. And I feel ready for the next steps as I've started taking them during Power of Actions. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Thank you so much,
for sharing. Chanel, can you say a few words about your transformation? What did you like most, and why the people here should do the program starting Monday?
Yeah, for sure. So within the Power of Action, I think one of the things that it helped me with a lot, which is challenging my mindset, and kind of figuring out why I wasn't achieving the goals that I placed in front of me. So once like tackling why I was thinking these things and what tales I was telling myself, it was easier to start creating new beliefs within myself that kind of pushed me forward to actually taking action. So yeah, I highly recommend, especially if you feel like you're kind of stuck or you don't have focus or clarity on something, this could definitely be a good way of, especially you're in a group of people, so you have a team, you have your angels with you encouraging you. So it'll definitely help push you forward to achieving what you want to.
Thank you, Chanel. And last but not least, Wissal, can you tell us a bit about why should people join Power of Action?
Yes, for me, like the most important thing about Power of Action is that before joining, I didn't know all the things I learned. So it was really important to be first conscious about everything that we need to take action about in life, and that we need to take advantage of our lives. That's a thing that really impacted me during this Power of Action is I learned that the normal is not the usual. Normal is not what we see in each house and with every family. Normal is not when you smile for or laugh for a day and say, I probably regret this in the morning, but normal is living in abundance. So it was a really great way actually to achieve or to begin achieving this abundance with the group of people that we really got close, and it was really important to be in a group actually. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Wissal. And just one more person that asked me in the chat, please let me share as well. So Anya, can you share 1 minute, and then we have 4 minutes of questions for the book. So I need the 4 minutes. Go, Anya.
Yes, thank you, Alex. And thank you very much also, Didier, for the presentation. Look, from my side, can say that the program really helped me to put the puzzles together. I mean, a lot of the things I already kind of was looking for myself. And right now, I mean, what is extremely powerful with the Power of Action is that really, finally, I have this motivation to get up every day and do things. So it's not just by knowing, but really start doing. And you need this little push. And this is what the group gives you. This is what the book gives you, concrete advice, but also like lots of questioning of yourself, why you procrastinate, why you don't start, actually improving your life every day. And I see lots of positive results for myself, like in the last few weeks, lots of positive changes happening. So all the ones who are considering to join this coaching program, I strongly encourage. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anya. So now we start the quiz. I will ask you 3 questions, and you have to answer in the chat the quickest possible the right answer. Okay, it's based on what Didier asked as content. 1, 2, 3, go. First question. Why do we doubt so often? Was the question original. My new question is it good to doubt or not? Answer in the chat the question. Is it good to doubt or not as an entrepreneur? Let's see what we have with the answer. I want more developed answers. Because Didier, the answer of Didier was not yes or no. So I want someone to pick the right concept that you brought there. It was actually something Tony Robbins taught me in all the trainings I did, the way he answered. Let's see who can get it right. Many people said, yes, it can be good. Yes, it's a good question and challenge it. Doubt is negative. Challenge is positive. Very important. Okay, so Sai, you got the book. The first book is for Sai. Well, big applause for Sai. Very important to make decisions. That's what Tony Robbins says when he was coaching the head of CIA in the US. Decision about billions investment. The guy was nominated. It's like option B. And Tony Robbins was, how can you make a decision? 6 years they were waiting to decide on this nuclear program and said, I don't know if it's a good or bad, but I made the decision. Now I will learn if it's good or bad. If it's bad, I change, you know? So this is what billionaires, what people like that are at the top of the game worldwide do. So Sai, you got the first one. Please give me your email address in the chat so I can send it to you. The second question is, what is one of the 3 key elements for you to become an entrepreneur? What do you need really to focus on? So we have quite a few options here from what Didier said, but give me the golden nugget of Didier's content about what's one of the most important things you have to do as an entrepreneur. Let's see what answers we have. I gave you the website for the ones that want to apply the program. You have to apply today because Monday we start at lunchtime for 9 weeks. So it's only 2 spots left. By tomorrow we'll close. So let's see, we have so many answers here. Loving problems, Nathan. Love people, love problems, Gita. Team motivation and resilience. Okay, I think Karim was the first answer that I like most. So Karim, well done. Give me your email. I like the team. You know, the team is the biggest thing. Like you remember, let me tell you this. I will take 2 minutes extra, sorry, but when I asked Didier once, I was in his house with his wife, and I was trying to say, Didier, if I do business A or B or C, which one are you more likely to invest in my company? And Didier looked me puzzled, and he said, Alex, if your question is, will I invest in your company? The answer is yes. I will never forget this phrase he said, you know, because it's like, so it's not about my idea. I don't have to do these companies that I think has a business model that I have to do the things that I want to do, you know, I have to go where my energy is. Didier will put the money on me, not in the idea I decide to follow. So let me do the things that make me more happy, that I want to put my energy, and that if I fail 20 years, I will keep trying, you know, and this is, this was key to me. So Karim, I will give you the second one. And last question, what can we do? Okay, last question. What can we do if we have no money? We have zero capital. We don't have absolutely no money, but we want to really switch and become an entrepreneur, but we are somehow stuck. We like, you know, this, we don't know where to go. We don't have the knowledge. We don't have the money. We don't have the contacts, the mentors, nothing. What should we do? Let's see who can get this one. Thank you, Jeremy, for being here. It's such an honor to have you, and thank you for your comments. Seek help from family. Give something first. Seek help from family and the closest friends and family. Money is everywhere. I like the abundance mindset. I get a point for that. I have to look for it the right place. Okay, let's have a few more. Let's have a few more to see if I see something that really align completely with the message of Didier overall. Networking, find the right people. Join the program Power of Action, Alfonso, yay! That's a good one. So I will give it to, okay. No, I think I will give it to Law. It was the first hand to type, like, she was typing for all the 3 questions, and she said, give something first. So really, it's like, if there is one thing from everything that is not about entrepreneurship, that is just about life, just that. Just not being in the trading thing with your wife, with your husband, with your children, with your neighbor. No, I gave you that, you gave me that. When you're in this, you don't live an abundant life. Your couple will not work. Didier can speak about marriage and children. He has some good experience in this field as well. And some interesting experience about entrepreneurship and making money thanks to the problem in children's education and how he found an amazing startup to invest. But really, if I'm with my wife, looking at how much I'm getting, how much I'm giving, this will never be an extraordinary relationship. It's about I give 100%. And then what I get is extra. And this is how you create this amazing relationship. So I just want to say thank you, Didier. Thank you so much. I think it was an amazing performance. Maybe you can put a number from 1 to 10 in the chat, your level of satisfaction here. So just we track for no last webinars, 1 to 10, how satisfied are you overall with the quality of this webinar, with the content you got today? Tell us. Look at this, Didier. Look at the satisfaction of Natalia, 11. 10, 10, 9.9, 9.99. This is NPS score.
Sure.
So final words, Didier, before we close?
No, well, thank you. Just the way I started, love people, love problem. And of course, we are in a unique situation right now. So just go on, make the decision, meet with all the people and find your way, because life is so short and you have to live your passion. And it's not about business plan, it's not about money, it's about interacting and making a better world.
Wow. Thank you so much, Didier, for your time. Thank you so much, everyone, all of you, to be here, to ask the questions, to be engaged. It's really makes me so happy. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for being here. I will be here. I will stop the recording. I will be